Well, hello, and welcome back to the Chamber Vibes podcast. I'm your host, Foster Garrett, Director of Marketing and Events for the Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, let me just tell you what's going on. Every week, I interview a different chamber member to find out what they do and why they do it right here at Media Squatch. Oh man, messing up your name. We just renamed the studio, so I'm struggling a little. But Media Squatch is the brand new name of what was formerly Watts Creative Studios, but it's still kind of Watts Creative Studios right here in beautiful Bedford, Virginia. We'll get into that in another time. Before we get to the actual podcast today, though, I want to tell you about some of our upcoming chamber events. I'm only going to mention a couple this time. If you want to get the full rundown, you can go to our calendar of events on bedfordareachamber.com. But we actually have an event tomorrow, so I just want to briefly talk to you about that. It's going to be our first Live at 5 of the year, which is our evening networking event. And everybody really loves these events. I think they're such a great way to have a bunch of chamber members and other business professionals that aren't necessarily part of our chamber in one place, because it's honestly not just limited to the chamber. We want to bring everybody together, get connected, and have a good time. And we'll be at Pinnacle Financial Partners' brand new office located right next to Plato's Closet on Forest Road. And this office is a full-service bank. It has a beautiful water wall, conference room, and spaces for community organizations. But it's just an incredible milestone for the Pinnacle team. And we're especially excited to celebrate this with them because Russ Smith is the chair of our board this year, and Melanie Oliver is one of our ambassadors. So they're a part of our chamber family. We're excited to celebrate with them and the Pinnacle team. And we'll actually be having our first ribbon cutting of the year as well tomorrow for them to celebrate this milestone. So if you're interested in coming out, it will be there from 5 to 6 p.m. There will be refreshments. And like I said, it's free and open to the public. No need to register. So you can just grab your business cards and grab a friend and come on down. And you can find all of that information online. The address is 18804 Forest Road. And like I said, it's right next to Plato's Closet. It's a giant white building with Pinnacle on the side. You can't miss it. And I just want to mention some other brief things. We have a very, very busy March. We actually have 2 of our signature events scheduled in March, which are our largest events of the year. And the first one will be our job fair on March 15th from 10:30 to 1:30 at Timberlake Christian School in Forest. This is our 11th year having this job fair. We have a lot of great additions, and we already have a lot of great employers already signed up. If you're interested in attending as an exhibitor, if you want to find some great people for your business, you can go ahead and register on bedfordareachamber.com by March 8th. So go ahead and get that done now. The sooner you get registered, the sooner I can promote your business. There's a lot of marketing that goes into this. And the other event, our other signature event, is our annual legislative wrap-up breakfast, and that'll be on March 28th from 7:30 to 9 at Cedar Oaks Farm in Bedford. If you haven't been to Cedar Oaks Farm, this is your chance. It is so beautiful. It is one of the most gorgeous spots in all of Bedford County, and it's very close to both Forest and the town of Bedford, so great location. Our legislative wrap-up breakfast is a moderated Q&A, and it's very hyper-local, and it's with your state legislators, everybody that represents the Bedford area. They'll be there to tell you some takeaways from the annual General Assembly session, and also what they've been working on, what they've accomplished in the last year since we saw them last at the legislative wrap-up breakfast in 2023. We'll also have some other guests there from local government, and also a representative from the Attorney General's office. So if you're interested in connecting with any of the officials that are serving you in Richmond and otherwise, come to this event. It's going to be a really great time, and breakfast will be catered by Bridge Street Cafe. So registration for that is open until March 21st. And I highly encourage you guys to, even if you're not completely sold on my pitch from this, go and check it out. There might be something about it that piques your interest, or maybe you feel like somebody you know might be interested as well. But like I said, you can find our full calendar of events on bedfordareachamber.com, as well as a bunch of other information about the chamber. But without further ado, please allow me to introduce today's guest, Shannon Cavendish with WDBJ 7.
Hello, Foster. Thank you for having me.
Of course. course. Thank you so much for joining me, Shannon.
And this is my very first ever podcast.
I'm honored.
I know. It's so exciting because I have been in radio and television for probably longer than you've been alive.
Definitely longer than I've been alive.
And I've never done a podcast. I've been on air for little bits of commercials and stuff, but I've never done a podcast. So,
well, good stuff. I hope you enjoy it.
My maiden voyage.
Well, Shannon, you have been involved with the Bedford Chamber for a really long time.
Yes.
You're a board member. You're a committee member. But to let people get to know you a little bit more, can you share a little bit more about your background and about your business?
Well, my background is I live in Roanoke. I did live in Bedford for a short time. Got married here in Bedford and
nice.
Ended up moving and taking my children to Roanoke, and my two daughters, 24 and 20 years old, Radford and Tech students. And I have two dogs, just the simple everyday life kind of thing. My most exciting thing is what I do for a living because it changes every single day. And you never know who's going to need or want a new campaign or a new idea. And that's the fun part about what I get to do every day is my job, because you never know what's going to happen in the world of marketing.
I completely understand. And things change all the time.
Yes. So at DBJ, we are owned by a company called Gray Media. And Gray has lots of different arms. So I not only sell WDBJ, but I sell digital marketing as well.
Gotcha. Well, cool. Can you share a little bit about DBJ for the people that don't know?
Oh, my goodness. So DBJ is the CBS affiliate here in our area. So in the Roanoke-Lynchburg market, we call it the Roanoke-Lynchburg designated market area. But for just the layperson, DBJ typically, signal-wise, can get down to Abington, almost to Charlottesville, up into Rockingham County, and down into North Carolina. So we have quite a large signal reach, and we are a heritage station. We've been on air over 30 some years. So
wow.
Everyone, it's a hometown. That's why we call ourselves a hometown station. We have, and I'm not going to tell on anyone, but we have some reporters that have been there 40 years. We have some anchors that are pushing close to 20, 30 years with our station. So
that's awesome.
That's a heritage group of folks.
It's always good when you have good retention like that too.
Yes.
And you've got the good mixing of the veterans and the rookies.
We bring a lot of interns through our station. We bring a lot of the newer, really hard-hitting new journalists in from college, that sort of thing. So we do get a lot of the young people, and then we have a good mix of the heritage folks that have been there. They know how television works. They know all of they groom those young journalists up, which is really cool because we get a good mix of everyone.
And it's a good way to keep that talent and continue developing that talent, and everybody shares with each other. I feel like after COVID, there's so many organizations that have been deprived of that experience. So it's really excellent, especially as one of our biggest news outlets, and a great marketing tool for people to have those resources.
Yes, it is. And most of, everyone, we have a great group of salespeople, but a lot of them are like me, and I'm just going to call it heritage. We've been there a while. So when you have someone that's been doing it for a long time, or even, if it's a salesperson that's younger that hasn't been there a long time, they can still lean on me to get the right tools and what they need to do and what they need to sell that client or that customer.
Nice to have mentorship.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Especially because this is what you do. You take your customer through these journeys of how the marketing can help them and what particularly could assist them in their business.
Well, look at Foster bringing it right around to what I was going to talk about. So literally, that's one of the things I wanted to discuss today or to talk to the podcast listeners here in Bedford are about how you and they are all targets. We're all targets in a media funnel, in a customer journey. Everyone is a target. So how marketing works for the business owner is every business owner has a marketing funnel and a customer journey. And that specific journey is what takes a customer, from the beginning where they know about the business to when they make a purchase. And that's what we call the marketing funnel. And it used to be, gosh, when I started in this business, we only had a couple of options for our customers. You had television and radio, and you had newspapers, actual printed newspapers, and billboards and direct mail. And those were typically the commonly used methods. And now that digital marketing has begun, it has exploded and been a game changer in literally every category of the customer journey and the marketing funnel for every business owner.
And I feel like it's so crazy, like, to hear, like, the itemized list of what used to be. And now with digital, everybody is seeing different things. Everybody is communicating differently. Each different age group has something that they rely on. And so trying to hit all of those things is really hard, especially when you are, like, perhaps you're an older heritage person and you aren't aware of some of the digital things because you don't use them. Or perhaps you're like me and you don't think about what other people might use other than just the 3 things that I use. Because I mean, most people my age, we don't even have cable television. We have streaming.
Right.
So it's all different. It's all challenging.
Well, exactly. It is all challenging. And one of the coolest things, really, that has come out of digital marketing is it's stealthy. Because all of the sudden, you're getting ads that apply just to you, Foster. And you're looking at them more because they apply to you. Well, that marketer has been savvy enough to find your thumbprint and locate you in that customer journey so that they know, like, you get the product and the service that you are specifically looking for. And typically, because it's designed just for you, Foster, you don't even realize you've been a target. And all along, throughout your day, you were a target in somebody's marketing funnel somewhere. And it's literally everywhere you go now.
I think that's so interesting. I think some people are frightened by that a little bit.
Oh, it's creepy.
Yeah, it is.
It's creepy. And, when digital first started, it was like anarchy. Anybody could do anything. And now that we're figuring out some of the evasiveness or some of the invasiveness of it is a little too much. And we're having to apply rules and regulations on things. We can't market to children. We shouldn't market to children.
That's true.
So you're not going to see ads marketing towards children. There's lots of different things you can't do anymore. And I'm trying to think of all of them now, and they're all escaping my brain. But there are regulations, especially healthcare.
Yeah.
Just came down this year with a whole new bunch of healthcare regulations for digital marketing. And you don't even realize that, but anytime there's any personal identifiable information, like your IP address, attached to something, that's a HIPAA violation now.
Interesting.
So you really need somebody who knows what they're doing to keep you and your business out of trouble or from getting banned from Facebook or Meta or Instagram or any of that because you've accidentally done something against the new regulation.
That is crazy. I hadn't even thought about that at all.
Digital marketing changes every single day. Wow. I mean, I'm always, and I'm in it and I'm immersed in it and I learn something new every day. But what I was going to talk about today in that marketing funnel was the different phases of the marketing funnel and how customers enter it and come out at the other end. And the 4 phases of the marketing funnel: awareness, interest and consideration, conversion, and purchase. Conversion and purchase to me are kind of along the same line, because if you want that customer to come to your website and they convert, that's still almost a purchase because they're there and you can follow them after that and remind them, come back, buy those shoes. They're on sale now. Come back. And that happens a whole lot in your world and you don't even realize it because you're invested in it. Like you've already looked at those shoes online, and to have them come back and say, wait, they're on sale now. It's not too much of a bother to you because you're like, oh, there's those shoes I really, really wanted. And that's how they get you in the digital world. So the beauty of digital marketing is that it can be targeted directly to each customer who has expressed an interest in a particular category, whether just by searching on the internet or going into a location, into a store, and they've got it geo-fenced and they know you're in there because somewhere on your phone you have an app open and your IP address has been shared. So it's literally everywhere you go. While the privacy laws are changing and we can fix that on our phones a lot, most people don't know how, like me. I mean, I know there's a way. I'm never going to figure that out. It's probably very easy. My kids can probably do it in a heartbeat. But
I'm already thinking about every time I download an app, it says, ask app not to track. And I'm like, don't track me, please.
Well, or I'll tell it, I don't want it to use my location.
Yeah.
But except for this one time while I'm searching.
True. I think all of mine use my location when I'm using the app.
Right.
Sneaky.
Well, and you don't ever close everything.
Yeah.
And I'm one for, I'll probably have 14 apps open right now on my phone. I never throw them up or whatever it is. I call it throwing them up or whatever. I never close things out. So, I mean, at any one given time, I could be followed by all kinds of things. That's also why when I Google something really quickly, I'm always getting ads. Mine's probably a little more eclectic because with my job, I Google a lot of things where I'm not just searching for my own benefit. I'm searching for my clients. So I get a lot of random ads, but you probably get more designed just towards you. So with the marketing funnel, the digital tactics that we use to reach out each specific spot on the marketing funnel or in the customer marketing journey has a specific digital tactic that kind of goes along with it. And that's how you reach customers along their entire journey. And if you don't mind, Foster, maybe we could go on a journey.
Okay.
A little customer journey.
Sure.
And I came up with Joe's Tire Store.
Awesome.
To do our marketing journey through. And Joe has a tire store and he has people, and probably as a car owner, if you're in the market for buying tires, you start searching. I need tires. What kind of tires that go to my make and model and all of that jazz. And then there's Shannon, who has to wake up in the morning to see that, one of my tires is a little low or maybe flat. Then I'm all of a sudden where I wasn't in the market for a tire, I am immediately in the market for a tire. So Joe has to make sure that he is using tactics in every one of the marketing funnel to catch every customer, no matter where they are in his marketing journey. So in the Roanoke-Lynchburg area, Joe has a store. Maybe he has 2 stores. And in phase 1 of the customer journey, which is building awareness on TV is one of the biggest ways of building awareness. Regular local broadcast television, he can run ads to let Foster know Joe's Tire Store is here when you need us. Joe's Tire Store has a clean, great waiting room, all those wonderful things right here in case you want to get new tires. So that you're hearing Joe's Tire Store. You're not in the market for Joe's Tire Store, but you hear them and you're knowing who they are. Joe can also, in that phase 1 of the marketing funnel, he can advertise on Local television, he can advertise on local news websites and apps. WDBJ7 has a great local website. We also have 2 apps. We have a weather app and a regular news app. A lot of people follow it on that. Joe can also do targeted display and video ads on digital. And that's where you start doing the little creepier things. Because Joe is looking for people who have expressed an interest in tires.
Mhm.
So the targeted display, internet ads, and video ads are designed to go after people who own cars and who have expressed an interest somehow in their Google search or in traveling, and they've been caught in a geofence where they've been in a tire store. Joe knows you're looking for tires. Joe can also do these branding, building awareness ads on streaming TV, which you mentioned earlier, and streaming audio.
Oh, cool.
So the cool thing about that with DBJ is I can sell all of those products. So here I am back selling radio again, where I started 26 or 7-ish years ago. So there's a lot of different ways in that first phase of that marketing funnel that Joe can directly target consumers who are looking for his specific needs or his specific products that he has in that journey.
That is really interesting. I think that's a great overview too.
It's a lot, and I'm trying to keep my ADD self from going off track because, and if people could see me, my hands move. So if you
are talking
air,
with your hands and nobody can see you right now but me.
I talk with my hands a lot. Literally, that's my tongue would be tied if I couldn't talk with my hands. So,
well, that is awesome. I think you've done a great job of kind of breaking it down from local broadcast being kind of like the broad catch-all. Just if you need me, let me know. And then breaking it down to more targeted opportunities that when they're actively looking, that is really cool.
Well, so that's where the kind of creepy stuff comes in, because during the day when you're Googling tires and whatever else you Google throughout the day that are your specific needs, once you start putting that in there, it doesn't matter. I'm probably 95% of the time using my cell phone when I'm doing that because I'm out during the day. Well, when I get home at night, my cell phone has an IP address that's just my cell phone's. Well, when I go home and walk in my front door, my Wi-Fi at home syncs up with my cell phone because that's when I join my Wi-Fi at home and I'm not using my roaming anymore or whatever they call it now. What do they call it now?
Hotspot.
Your hotspot or just your regular Wi-Fi on your phone. I don't even know what it's called.
I don't think it has a name.
It comes in and it immediately syncs up with your house. So then my house knows everything I've Googled. My house Wi-Fi then knows everything I've Googled. So then you're sitting at home watching streaming TV and all your streaming ads,
everything's talking to
they talk to you now. They don't talk to a wide variety of people. You're getting ads that are specifically designed for you. So they don't seem so intrusive anymore because, wow, I need tires and looky there.
True, it is kind of beneficial in the end. Like, it really is, now that I'm thinking about it. Like, it's a little invasive, but it's not like they know your name and they're just trying to provide products and services that might suit you.
Right, because you've expressed the interest. It has your thumbprint, which is, I think we're all kind of familiar with thumbprint through like Pandora or Spotify, where you hit a thumbs up on a song and they know that's the genre of music she likes and they're going to keep serving you.
The algorithm works in your favor.
Exactly. So this way it also sort of works in your favor. Plus, they look for people. Retirement homes look for people or women who are 50 plus because they typically are the ones taking care of their parents and having to make hard decisions about. Now, there are some guys that do this too, so I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. But I'm just saying, a lot of times women do that. So we get served all these ads all day long that maybe don't even apply to us. They might apply to our family members, but women multitasking, we're getting all those ads and we're picking them up and they're being filed and cataloged in our brain somewhere where we need them.
Interesting. So have we completed our journey? Is there more?
I'm sorry, that was just phase 1.
Okay, that was phase 1.
Yeah. So like phase 2 would be the tactics that Joe would use at his tire store for someone who's like to spark interest and consideration.
Mm-hmm.
And really that's just where Joe as a business owner is trying to let everyone know, these are my products. I have these tires. I sell Michelin and Hankook? I don't know. I'm trying to think of all the tire names now. But he wants everyone to know, I have all these tires and I can compete locally with like TireRack.com, because you don't need to get your tires on the internet. You need to get them at Joe's locally, because we're all about shopping that local tire store. So Joe wants to spark interest. And how does Joe spark interest and consideration to people to let them know about his tire store? Well, he can use targeted email, paid social ads, YouTube, native advertising, and you guessed it, more TV.
Excellent.
Because even though everyone says all along, newspapers dying or TV is dying or all these radios dying, local TV is still the number one place where people go to hear local news, and they trust it. They still trust it over national news. They trust it because they know the people who have been telling them the news for years, and they sit right in front of him on their TV every night. So local TV is still the number one place for Joe to continue to spark interest and consideration. Targeted email is another stealthy way that Joe can come to you, because we have different vendors we buy these email addresses from. And these are people who have double opted in to say that, yes, send me more information about this.
Gotcha.
Send me more information about that. And when they sign up to get more information about certain products, we know they're interested in certain products. And some products, like Joe's, he has a life cycle. His customer journey has a life cycle. He knows by the time they start shopping in 30 days or 60 days, they're going to have new tires on their car. And that Joe is kind of, if he's a smart marketer and he's doing all these different tactics, he knows where to catch these people. Well, the targeted email, when it comes through, we've sent a targeted email, and that is in large part taking the direct mail piece out of the equation. Because why would you print something when you can electronically get in front of people? You're not wasting resources and trees and all that jazz. Plus, you are not just blindly sending it to somebody's mail. You are reaching somebody who has expressed an interest in the product. Then we can track that person a little more by, if they've opened our email, we can start serving tire ads.
Nice.
From Joe saying, hey, remember we told you we had a $50 off, or remember we told you if you're a first-time customer, you get one wheel free, or whatever it is Joe's promoting that month, right? So it's kind of creepy, but it's also, again, helpful to get discount ads or ads for things that you are specifically needing. So that's literally phase 2. Boom. It went over before you know it. And we're into phase 3, which is, in essence, 3 and 4, like I said at the beginning, are kind of the same. Converting and purchasing. And those, Joe uses tactics like paid search, pay-per-click, SEO, and landing pages. And all of that stuff is like digital things that people are like glossing over now, right? But it's part of, this is where the fun starts to kind of happen. Pay-per-click, for my clients, that's the sexy thing, because they can see it, right? They can go to their back end of their website, look at their analytics and say, wow, 1,000 people clicked on my website, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
And that's where, everyone gets hung up. But you have to literally have phase 1 and 2
to get to the landing pages,
that last page, because they don't know who you are. And the pay-per-click, it comes in handy where I've been researching tires, and finally I've come to the realization, I'm buying tires at Joe's. So I literally go down to my computer and I type in Joe's, and immediately 3 sponsored ads come up. Joe's is one of them, maybe, but he's right there. And you see Joe's name, and because he's marketed, you click it. Now, if Joe isn't buying pay-per-click ads or he skipped a section of his funnel, there's a lot of different other ways organically through his SEO that he can get there to the top with those sponsored ads. But those sponsored ads, once they're up there, you can click on them and it takes you straight to Joe's website. Well, that's the person who's had plenty of time to manage their tire experience, right? But you and I, I woke up this morning and my tire's flat.
Yeah.
And I've got to have a tire. I've got to have my car towed somewhere now. So I get on my computer and I say, tire stores around me. Immediately, because Joe's a smart marketer, he's got paid search up there, and his name, Joe's Tire Store, is up in my sponsored ads. And because Joe has been a smart marketer and he has been in phase 2 and phase 1, and he's been putting his name out there, I'm familiar and warm with Joe's business and his tire store. So then I click on it because it's a name that's familiar to me. And that's how he captures that last piece of the customer journey, because people know about him. They know, he said on TV, he's reputable and he's got a clean waiting room for women and he's got coffee, and all these different things at his tire store.
All those different things that make him outstanding.
And I know that I can take my laptop with me to Joe's Tire Store this morning and be working on my emails while I'm getting my tires taken care of. So it's helpful.
That is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But there's a whole lot I can really go down and drill down into each specific tactic. But
can you just share a little bit about SEO? So people, I think that might be one of the most helpful things at least for small business owners to know about. Just like if you don't have the marketing budget, you can at least do these things.
Right. So SEO, when I talk to my clients about this, it is the absolute least sexiest of all the products that we sell. It is also really, really hard for anyone to see that it's working, except for when somebody randomly needs tires. Where you pop up organically is what your SEO does. So your SEO is something that anyone small, so long as you have a website, whether you're doing your own website or you have somebody you've paid to do your website, when you build a website, there's all these keywords in the back end of your website. There's all these backlinks. These are all digital things that you hear, the names that you kind of want to gloss over, but they're real things. And Joe's Tire Store, he's going to have already built in the back of his website keywords like Michelin and hand-cooked tires, discount tires. He's going to have every variation that he can come up with back in the back end, so that anytime I'm searching on the internet, his SEO is picking up the tires or whatever it is I'm looking for. So SEO sort of helps you organically move up by the things that you do, like blogs on your website. Google changes that algorithm all the time, how they choose to make someone pop up organically in the search. So that's also a good reason to pay someone like me who has a team who follows what Google changes.
Yeah.
So if today Google's really looking for people who are making sure that their video is fresh, that they're adding new pictures to their website, that they have backlinks or blogs attached to all these different things on their website, we know they've made the changes. We also knew earlier this year that there was going to be some big new HIPAA changes. And we were able to alert our healthcare people. And it's not even like healthcare people that you would imagine to be affected. But literally, they can't advertise that they have a COVID vaccine anymore.
Really?
You can't. you can't put that you have a vaccine. Like if you were a pharmacy, you want to say in your ads, you get your COVID vaccine here. You can't. If you're for or against it, it doesn't matter. You can't put it on there. There's lots of new regulations that they came out with digitally that we can't do anymore, and it just came down the pike. So, like, even if it's a retirement home,
Yeah.
well, you would think, what's that got to do with HIPAA? It's got a lot to do with HIPAA. So there's all these different new regulations with retirement homes. So you can't do before and after photos anymore. You're not supposed to. Eventually you'll get caught.
I was about to say, see, if you're doing this on your own, you're like, and you see these things, I'm the type of person where I'm like, I want to just push the button a little bit. Like, I just want to try it. That's the way you get in trouble.
Well, Meta is shutting people down now.
Oh, really?
Yes. So like we had a client doing it on their own, and they made a medical claim. It wasn't even a medical company. They made a claim that their product would reduce stress.
What?
It would reduce stress.
And they got shut down for it.
And they closed their Meta account down because it was wild. A medical claim that they made. It was a hot tub.
Shannon, you've convinced me that it's necessary to have you on my side during my customer journey.
And, you know, the great thing about it, thank you. I'm glad I convinced you. But like the great thing about it is it's not just me, because I can't physically keep up with all the changes that go in every day. The great thing that came with WDBJ getting purchased by Gray is that we now have the power of 120 some station group.
You have a lot of resources.
They have the power. They've made Gray Digital Media its own thing. And they have people that do nothing but check all of that so that we can make sure that all of our digital marketing is compliant from the beginning to the end, that there's not any, a lot of times you don't know whether or not your ads actually ran because you're not going to see 100,000 impressions. It's just going to be tricky for you to track all of that. Well, we have anti-fraud stuff. We have dashboards that people can look at every single day, that they can see where their ads are being delivered. They can see which ads are being responded to better. I have a client that does a lot of A/B testing. So when they do A/B testing, we put one ad out and another ad out, and we figure out who's responding and what's getting more traction. And they can then back off of one ad and go up the other ad, but they can watch all of that. We're fully transparent. They can see it on the dashboard that I give them, so they can literally look.
Oh, cool.
Now, our dashboard also, because we add pixels and all these things that are very whatever, it's just a lot of words. But once we do that and we track it all, we can also track the Google Analytics piece for them, so long as they're not a healthcare provider, because this year we are no longer allowed to look at the Google Analytics of our healthcare providers because it's got personal identifiable information, which is your IP address. And you think, how can that even be? But hackers can literally find your home by your IP address. So we take it very seriously, and we make sure that our clients are compliant and that, you know, everything is, it's not going to get them in any trouble or get any of their accounts shut down.
Well, I have learned so much. Did we complete our journey? Is there anything else you'd like to add?
We completed our journey. Yay. I was going to try and come up with like a fun thing, but you know.
This was perfectly fun.
It's not the kind of journey maybe that you thought you were going to take this morning.
Through the tire shop experience.
Yes.
Well, I've learned a lot. I hope that everybody else has learned a lot. Is there any sage words of wisdom or any other remarks you'd like to provide?
The only thing I think that I left out that I try to explain to all of my clients a lot is there's so many people out. It used to be I competed with the other TV stations or radio stations, the newspaper, and the market. But now it seems like everyone has digital marketing. Everyone says, I can do your digital marketing. And a lot of my business owners, they're great people. So they want to buy from Joe, and they want to buy from Sally, and they want to buy from all these people. So they'll have one person doing their SEO, and then they'll have other people doing their pay-per-click campaign, and then additional people doing targeted ads for them. They work better together.
Mm-hmm.
And your digital piece really needs to be together. And they need to know, you need to have a company that's not just buying from vendors wherever. You need a company that is buying from reputable companies. So like with streaming television, your ads aren't falling on some streaming sites that you wouldn't want your ads falling on. Well, we take care of that, and we vet where we're going to send those ads on streaming television so that you're not on sites that you are like, oh, I don't need to be there. So just be really cautious that when you're buying, you ask them. You ask contractors when they come to your house, are these subcontractors you're using, or are they your actual employees? You want to know, well, this is basically the same thing. Are they subcontracting out all of their work, or are they getting it done? Are they Google preferred? All of Gray Digital Media is a Google preferred because we buy enough of Google that we're part of the top tier.
Gotcha.
We're preferred. We follow their rules. We're in a partnership with them so that we know we're doing it accurately, that they're not being defrauded. So it's just really important to do it all together. You can buy separate TV stations. You can buy DBJ or Channel 10 or SLS. You can do all of that. But the digital really needs to all kind of go together. You all need to be searching the same things and the same part of the customer journey to make it work right. That would be my advice. That, and if you're in the Roanoke-Lynchburg market, or even if you have a national company that you need some digital marketing for or recruitment, we can do all of that right here from DBJ. We have major, big name national companies we do right here locally at DBJ, and you wouldn't even know it.
Well, amazing. If people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do so?
Well, there is my cell phone number, which I can give you my work number, but my work number transfers straight to my cell phone number, which is, I don't know if I put it out here?
Yeah,
okay, so it's 540-353-3405. And I am typically available Monday to Friday in your normal business hours. I can also work at night, but
please don't call Shannon at night.
Come on, I'm just trying to watch Suits. I'm like, just trying to watch Suits, do something fun for a couple of hours every evening once I get off. So.
I feel that. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, well, thank you for having me. It's been exciting. Now I've done my first podcast.
Awesome. Well, if anybody wants to learn more about the Chamber, you can call us at 540-586-9401 or go on our website to learn more about our mission, the perks of becoming a member. Also on our website is a full business directory of all of our members, which is helpful for finding all sorts of great things in the region, including WDBJ 7.
Yes.
And if you're interested in sponsoring our podcast, you can do so with an advertisement. All that information is available online. It's a great way to support the Chamber Vibes podcast and keep us rolling with it. But thanks so much for listening. That's all for today. Keep an ear out for the next Chamber Vibes podcast.